Yeah, I think their success speaks for itself. Um, in the last the 4 years that I've competed against them, it speaks completely for itself, and it's not. Their success hasn't been exclusive to playing against Cincinnati. It's been against everybody in the country. I think they've won more games in the last 4 years than anybody in college basketball. So it speaks for itself. They second Big 12 title, regular season speaks for itself. We know how hard the league is. We just have to have a great prep and go down there and compete. And I think it's that simple. Yeah, they're physical. They throw a lot of bodies at the ball. Their hands are very, very active. And, there's a lot of familiar faces, right? So it's guys that have been doing it there for a long time that understand their principles and their rotations. But they obviously have a very principle-based defense. It's very consistent over a long period of time. But it's not just the principles; it's the way they bring them to life with their activity that I think is difficult for opponents. It's just a game. It's a game in the Big 12. Again, their success speaks for itself. We have tremendous respect, but it's a game, and you prepare the same. You prepare for every game. Like as Chad mentioned in his question, we've played against them a number of times in the last 3 years, and there's a couple games where we've been right there within maybe with a lead in the last minute one time down there. So I'm not saying we've had success, because success would be winning games against them, but it's not like we haven't had moments we were able to compete, and we didn't do anything out of the ordinary in those moments or in those games to prepare for. So you prepare like we prepare for games all year. These guys on our team at this point have played a number of big games against really, really good opponents and in really tough environments, and we're going to have to rely on that experience and wisdom. Yeah, he's like, you can see him finding his role within their team as the league plays continued, and we know how good he is because we played against him in Oklahoma last year, and he was a huge piece of what they were doing. We played him twice last year, so I think beyond just that, I agree. I'm not going to just say what you said; it's all accurate. Beyond that, I think one of the things that makes this Houston team so dynamic is the three-point shooting, and Uzan has a lot to do with that, especially the way he's shooting it here recently. But, between Cryer, Uzan, he's the best shooter in the country, and Sharp, between those three, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, and for all the things they've done well here over the last handful of years, They not like they haven't been able to shoot the ball, but they haven't been in that kind of a category in three-point shooting. So I think those three make them a little different in terms of their offensive attack because of the way that they shoot the ball and how consistent it's been over the course of the year. And as you mentioned, Uzan's finding the different rhythm there, and I think that makes them even more dynamic. We got to keep embracing the day-to-day approach. They got to keep embracing the mentality that they've had here recently, and it's a great opportunity to go play if we're going to play the right way and work the right way and be about the right things, I think we can play against them with anybody in America. And so it wouldn't matter where we're going. It's a great opportunity, but it's a road game in the Big 12 against a team that's already clinched the Big 12 regular season. It's a great opportunity. Yeah, he was such an impactful guy a year ago. When he went down, I thought that affected their team, right? Because going back and watching our games against them last year, he made some plays on us, like shots that you mentioned his wingspan, a shot you may finish. That CMOS had a layup in transition at their place last year early in the game. That it's a shot that is a basket. In every other game you play against everybody else, and Tugler goes up and gets it, because he's got not just the length but timing, and that timing affects shot blocking, is rim protection, and it certainly affects all of his rebounding on both offense and defense. He's got a great knack to the ball. And you mentioned amongst a bunch of other guys that have that. And it's like Roberts. I saw him, I think 2 years ago, we did Media Day out in Kansas City, and I saw him in Shed, and I feel like I've been seeing him in Shed. I felt like I've been seeing those guys since I was playing. That's how long they were doing it. And then this year I go back there and Roberts is still there, and I'm going, damn, is he going to be here for the next decade type of thing? Because he's been that good, guys. He's been that good of a player. He's as good of a player as we have in the Big 12. What's that? Hugs, yeah. Yeah, the Terry Nelson and those guys, yeah. No, but guys like that make you feel that way because they've been so good for so long. You know, we're saying it respectfully. I mean, he's been so good for so long. It makes you feel like he's been around for forever. And he is a senior now, right?
Maybe.
Maybe
the thing is, it's not that he's been good, but he's gotten also the level of improvement year over year with him has been impressive.
Same thing you've seen with Tugler, right? It's consistent. I just enjoy competing. You know, I mean, I think it's like there's so many, you know, awesome parts to what I get to do for a living and my job. You know, there's some hard parts too, but there's some awesome parts to it. And one of the things that's awesome is competing. So I don't think about this position or just the chance to go out and compete. That's to be able to still do that in your 40s, like it brings out the kid in you. You know, so I enjoy competition. And you know, if I ever stop enjoying competition, my butt won't be coaching anymore. But I love the competition. It's one of the things. There's a lot of things I love about the job, and got another opportunity to do that on Saturday, which is one of the neat parts about this league.